Nothing is as it seems, but something is everything it is made out to be. There's only so much emotional superglue in a person's soul that everything just stays broken. Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all the days of your life.
Search of truth is actually a search of strength to handle the truth.
When we are tired, we are attacked by ideas we conquered long ago.
Try not to become a man of success. Rather become a man of value.
It's not unpatriotic to denounce an injustice committed on our behalf. Perhaps it's the most patriotic thing we can do. Never let hard lessons harden your heart. The hard lessons of life are meant to make you better, not bitter. If you start with nothing and end up with nothing, there's nothing lost.
Life is pain. Anyone who says otherwise is selling something. Misconceptions play a prominent role in my view of the world.
Create your best life with your consciously chosen thoughts, words, and actions. Unless we learn to know ourselves, we run the danger of destroying ourselves. Spoon-feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon. Be a person of substance to people, and not someone they wish they never met. Those who would wage war should first eliminate all domestic enemies before proceeding to attack the external foe. Quietly endure, silently suffer, and patiently wait.
Politeness is the first thing people lose once they get the power.
Never break or fold. That's what it takes to be major. The truth was only another mask, even if it was the best fit, closest to skin and all that lay beneath. You have two choices: to conquer your fear or to let your fear conquer you.
How quick come the reasons for approving what we like. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened.
Sometimes a little discomfort in the beginning can save a whole lot of pain down the road. Sometimes some lies that's spoken with high confidence could be more receptive than facts that's spoken with doubt. If there never was a night or day and memories could fade away, then we'd be nothing left but the dreams we made.
Life doesn't require ideals. It requires standards of action.
Nobody's going to win all the time. On the highway of life, you can't always be in the fast lane. I visited many places, some of them quite exotic and far away, but I always returned to myself.
Remove the clowns from your life before you become one. Life is 10% what you make it, and 90% how you take it.
Embrace being perfectly imperfect. Learn from your mistakes and forgive yourself. You'll be happier.
I know the joy of fishes in the river through my own joy as I go walking along the same river. Oh, darling, don't be bitter. It's the first instinct of the weak.
To burn always with this hard gem-like flame, to maintain this ecstasy, is success in life. Don't overshare. Privacy is power.
One day you will wake up, and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted. Do it now.
Prediction is very difficult, especially about the future. Optimists move through life with a happy exterior. What happens on the inside shows up on the outside. Night is a time of rigor, but also of mercy. There are truths which one can see only when it's dark.
Strange what being forced to slow down could do to a person. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing.
Fairness does not mean everyone gets the same. Fairness means everyone gets what they need.
Thinking something does not make it true. Wanting something does not make it real.
If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Don't be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know something is worth it.
More powerful than the will to win is the courage to begin.
We have 40 million reasons for failure, but not a single excuse. I believe in the fundamental truth of all great religions of the world. The fundament upon which all our knowledge and learning rests is the inexplicable.
Deal with your past so that it won't affect your future.
Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. The future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour, whatever he does, whoever he is. The true hypocrite is the one who ceases to perceive his deception, the one who lies with sincerity.
Concentrate your energy and hoard your strength. For a word to be spoken, there must be silence, before and after. In making tactical dispositions, the highest pitch you can attain is to conceal them. Once friends as batchmates, but now different batches divide us.
The only impossible journey is the one you never begin.
We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand.
That truth should be silent. I had almost forgot. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. You can have everything you want if you can put your heart and soul into everything you do. You're never given a dream without also being given the power to make it true.
Positive expectations are the mark of the superior personality.
You may tend to get cancer from the thing that makes you want to smoke so much, not from the smoking itself. I hear my silence talked of in every lane. The suppression of a cry is itself a cry of pain.
The cost of being wrong is less than the cost of doing nothing.
Every block of work has patience inside it, and it is the task of skills to discover it.
Take care of your body, then the rest will automatically become stronger.
Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. If everyone helps to hold up the sky, then one person does not become tired. Judge no one, just improve yourself. Like all dreamers, I confuse disenchantment with truth. Power does not corrupt. Fear corrupts, perhaps the fear of a loss of power. You're always with yourself, so you might as well enjoy the company. Liberty without learning is always in peril, and learning without liberty is always in vain. People don't like to think. If one thinks, one must reach conclusions. Conclusions are not always pleasant.
Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles.
But this wealth of information produced little or no insight. There is nothing good in this world that does not have some filth in its origin. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure. I am serving the purpose for which I was designed, therefore I am satisfied with my existence. All men want, not something to do with, but something to do, or rather something to be. The hardest battle you are ever going to have to fight is the battle to be just you.
Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Always stand up for truth, regardless of who steps on it. Sometimes the grass is greener, sometimes it is sick.
My life will be the best illustration of all my work. Imagining that you are deep and complex, but others are simple, is one of the primary signs of malignant selfishness. We never know how high we are till we are called to rise. Then if we are true to form, our statures touch the skies.
It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed.
Hate is nothing when weighed against survival.
You don't destroy what you want to acquire in the future.
The dream was always running ahead of me. To catch up, to live for a moment in unison, was the miracle. Perspective is born in the rearview mirror of life. For it is scars that show us where we've been. Let them not dictate where we are going. Your heart is the size of an ocean. Go find yourself in its hidden depths. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. Emotion often outwits intelligence, while intuition renders life surprisingly fluent and enjoyable.
Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life.
A man, though wise, should never be ashamed of learning more, and must unbend his mind. Be kind to one another, even when it's not requested. The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. I am inspired by people who are willing to confront the shadows of themselves and find light. It is life, I think, to watch the water. A man can learn so many things. The flower that blooms in adversity is the rarest and most beautiful of all.
If you really want something, you can figure out how to make it happen.
Change may not always bring growth, but there is no growth without change. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Dreaming of a life not lived, but holding on to the fantasy, because the scars of reality still sting the heart.
You have two choices: evolve or repeat.
Nothing can dim the light, which shines from within.
He who steals a belt buckle pays with his life. He who steals a state gets to be a feudal lord.
Life teaches us the right path is rarely the easy one. The truth about life and lie about life is not measured by others but by your intuition, which never lies. The minute I stopped trying to find the right girl and started trying to become the right guy, the girl came. You get what you give, but also what you're willing to take. When no one you know tells the truth, you learn to see under the surface. Life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man could invent.
Some things in life are too complicated to explain in any language.
Beware of those who are bitter, for they will never allow you to enjoy your fruit. Those who wish to market their good deeds must do well to place their bad deeds on the shelf too.
If my life is going to mean anything, I have to live it myself.
Never apologize for showing feeling. When you do so, you apologize for the truth.
A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. Some people look for a beautiful place. Others make a place beautiful. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone.
A smart person knows how to talk. A wise person knows when to be silent.
Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less.
One lie has the power to tarnish 1,000 truths. The human person finds his perfection in seeking and loving what is true and good.
If you believe you can, you might. If you know you can, you will. Because people don't have wings, we look for ways to fly.
Maybe the truth is, I really want to like you instead. To me, all research is exploring the universe, understanding it deeper, one finding at a time. You always know the truth because when you cut yourself or someone else with it, there's always a bloody show. Speaking the truth is the main attribute of a pure-hearted person. Where there is anger, there is always pain underneath. Silence is the best answer to someone who doesn't value your words. We may regard certain days as free days. Free days are, however, fee days. We will pay later.
Our attitude toward life determines life's attitude towards us.
We are the Bibles the world is reading. We are the creeds the world is needing. We are the sermons the world is heeding. The only thing that can make you feel unexplainable feelings is by loving unconditionally. Learn how to be ambitious. Don't be a person who waits to be married off to someone wealthy.
I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think.
Weekends don't count unless you spend them doing something completely pointless.
There is an intelligent way to eat a live frog. I just don't know what it is. To go outside what your charge was and to try to solve everything yourself is dangerous. Wake up with determination. Go to bed with satisfaction. In the midst of darkness, He alone sees the dawn. In the midst of the soundless, He alone hears harmony. This place has only 3 exits, sir: madness and death.
Rejection should be a means of improvement and not a way to feel dejected. Words don't have the power to hurt you unless that person meant more to you than you are willing to confess. Don't be scared to live your life without judgment.
In the end, you should always do the right thing, even if it's hard. When you lose your smile, you lose your way in the chaos of life.
Start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. It's hard to throw away history. It was like you were throwing away a part of yourself. The things hardest to bear are sweetest to remember. The purpose of literature is to turn blood into ink.
Everything changes in my life, and the world stays the same.
No, that is the great fallacy, the wisdom of old men. They do not grow wise, they grow careful.
In war, numbers alone confer no advantage. Do not advance relying on sheer military power.
Truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Take advantage of it now, while you are young, and suffer all you can, because these things don't last your whole life. We have no right to express an opinion until we know all of the answers. Ruin is a gift. Ruin is the road to transformation.
You don't have to like someone, but you have to treat them as you wish to be treated.
If you change who you are to suit other people, you may end up dressed for the wrong occasion.
A thing is not necessarily true because a man dies for it. When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. Do more listening than talking. Talk more about them than about you.
Our greatest fear should not be of failure, but of succeeding at things in life that don't really matter. Every day is a bank account, and time is our currency. No one is rich, no one is poor. We've got 24 hours each. On the whole, human beings want to be good, but not too good, and not quite all the time.
Knowledge is responsibility, which is why people resist knowledge.
It is when things are at worst you will get the best.
No one from the outside can tell or show you what is in your heart. Faith is a knowledge within the heart, beyond the reach of proof.
Youth offers the promise of happiness, but life offers the realities of grief.
Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do.
If you only walk on sunny days, you'll never reach your destination. All human beings should try to learn before they die what they are running from, and to, and why. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance.
If water derives lucidity from stillness, how much more the faculties of the mind?
When we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. Making mistakes is better than faking perfections. There is force in the universe, which, if we permit it, will flow through us and produce miraculous results.
The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them. Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable.
I'm sure the universe is full of intelligent life. It's just been too intelligent to come here. Deeply respecting yourself is the first step toward having a deep respect for others. Sometimes the sound of silence is the most deafening sound of all. You don't have to eat less, you just have to eat right.
Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more.
If you haven't the strength to impose your own terms upon life, then you must accept the terms it offers you.
Great understanding is broad and unhurried. Little understanding is cramped and busy. Success involves going to where others believe is too far. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort.
It is foolish to tear one's hair in grief, as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. 90% of everything you believe you can achieve in life you will. Like a missing tooth, sometimes an absence is more noticeable than a presence.
To think too long about doing a thing often becomes its undoing.
You can't let the truth bring out the worst and let it get the best of you. There's only one day at a time here, then it's tonight, and then tomorrow will be today again. It's not always that we need to do more, but rather that we need to focus on less. Yet he who reigns within himself and rules passions, desires, and fears is more a king. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. Sometimes change was good, sometimes it was even exactly what you needed. To be the best, you must be able to handle the worst.
Politics determines who has the power, not who has the truth.
I felt lonely and content at the same time. I believe that is a rare kind of happiness.
Great knowledge sees all in one. Small knowledge breaks down into the many. Ability will never catch up with the demand for it. People, in general, would rather die than forgive. It's that hard. Despite the heart-numbing frost, my soul is blooming like spring. He who doesn't understand history is doomed to repeat it. Kendati batasantara kebebasan, dan ketidak pedulian terkadang saru.
It should not matter, of course, that I could be crazy, because, as luck would have it, fortune favors me. My feet are shaking, but I'll do whatever it takes to take a step forward. The selfish man suffers more from his selfishness than he from whom that selfishness withholds some important benefit. Stop telling people everything. It's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. Those emotions are poison to any living goal.
The world changes. We do not. Therein lies the irony that kills us.
Stress is a consequence of negative happenings or impact in life, but important is how to overcome it. In order that all men may be taught to speak truth, it is necessary that all likewise should learn to hear it. When something ought to be true, then it proves to be a very powerful truth.
An opinion should be the result of thought, not a substitute for it.
The prettiest flowers are in their honor in the ugliest dirt. Go after what you want in life. Don't just talk about it. Take a step, run. I think that you've got to make something that pleases you and hope that other people feel the same way.
But better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. Colors blind the eye, sounds deafen the ear, flavors numb the taste, thoughts weaken the mind, desires wither the heart. You get what you focus on, so focus on what you want.
A lie sometimes can be truer than the truth, which is why fiction gets written. Well, it's hard to be yourself. It's the hardest job there is. It's harder to make the glass than break the glass.
It is error alone which needs the support of government. Truth can stand by itself.
The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to and then do it. It is better to be alone than in bad company. Es ist nicht genug zu wissen, man muss auch anwenden. Es ist nicht genug zu wollen, man muss auch tun.
Stop blaming outside circumstances for your inside chaos.
To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all.
A rose does not answer its enemies with words, but with beauty. Correct your mistake as soon as you have found it.
When one door of happiness closes, another opens. Hearts are breakable, Isabel said, and I think even when you heal, you're never what you were before. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. We hunt the flame, the light in the darkness, the good this world deserves. One day you'll see why God made you wait.
Sometimes I think my head is so big because it is so full of dreams. Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. Think well. True, life is complex, but so are a great many accidents.
Difficulties increase the nearer we get to the goal. Feeling beautiful has nothing to do with what you look like. Promise. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it.
Never get bitter. Life is a medley of good and bad ingredients.
Your rebel soul shines like a diamond pulled from dust, bright, clear, and flawless. If what you seek is truth, there's one thing you must have above all else. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the whole. What doesn't quicken dies. That's an indisputable truth of life.
Winning isn't enough. The acme of all skill is to defeat your enemy before taking the field. The most wasted of all days is one without laughter.
The worst thing he told me is bitterness. People end up so bitter. If you place your head in a lion's mouth, then you cannot complain one day if he happens to bite it off.
Reason is, and ought only to be the slave of the passions.
Perhaps the logical conclusion of everyone looking the same is everyone thinking the same. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. Sometimes the right thing feels all wrong until it is over and done with. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Flexibility makes buildings to be stronger. Imagine what it can do to your soul. Guilt is a feeling that you owe a debt that you're not paying.
Phase est ab host docere. One should learn even from one's enemies.
Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.